People always tell you never judge a book by its cover. And I grew up being bullied, and it hurt a lot. When I was younger, it was hard for me to go to school, go to classes, and just be a normal person. My smile that I was showing was always fake, and people never knew what was wrong. So you should always talk to somebody and get out there, because you never know what's going on with a person. I grew up knowing that I could be better, I can better myself. And that's why I became a Buddha Bullying Ambassador. Because when you grow up, it's the things that pass you by. It's the things that matter. It's the friends you make. It's just living.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to B2B 1on1. Today, I'm so blessed to have the beautiful Jessica Collins with me. She is our Girls Youth Ambassador. She has amazing stories. And what I'm going to make you do right now is give yourself a big-ass hug. Go right now. No, really mean it. Because what you're doing right now is really brave. And that's the coolest thing anyone can ever be. So thank you for being here. You're amazing. And I don't plan these conversations, but I sometimes have certain questions. Today I don't, because I just want, so really quickly backtracking, Jessica was our spotlight ambassador at our last board meeting, and she started to tell her story, and I was so inspired by her bravery and speaking your truth that today, I'm shining the light on you, and it's whatever you want to talk about, and I just want to know why you're passionate about this cause, if you'd like to open up about your story in any shape and form, any way you'd like, whatever you're comfortable with, to inspire our youth, because this is the most important thing we could ever do, is just speak our truth and own who we are and whatever we've gone through in our lives and just move forward. So,
Alright.
Here's the spotlight. You get it.
So basically, when I was a kid, I would be bullied for the color of my skin, doing girl and guy things, and basically everything that any kid can find wrong about me. They just made me feel bad about myself. I was a kid who was also into acting, theater, cheerleading, football. I was in everything.
What can she do? Acting, cheerleading, I'm an astronaut.
Oh, I sing as well.
Yes,
and dance.
I love that.
But it's I was always treated differently because it was just hard for me to do a lot of things, and I lived with my grandmother. So a little bit about myself. My mom said I could talk about it. So
thank you, Mom, for letting her share her truth. We really are grateful for you.
When I was a kid, I was in second grade, and my mom was in a domestic violence relationship.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, with my brother's father, and it was really hard. My mom started getting on drugs, and a lot of kids at school started finding out about my personal life, and they started bullying me for it too, and it just was harder because I was just trying to make sure Mom was happy at home while my stepdad was just doing things to my mom, and they tried to not have my brother, and my mom couldn't do it anymore, and he would always treat my mom like the baby wasn't his. My brother looks like an exact replica of his dad right now. An exact replica. But it's just a lot of kids pick on you for
of course,
your personal life, and I don't know why they do it. They just do it, and it was really hard because I was just trying to go to school, and I love school. I love school. Anyone can tell me, I'd rather prefer to be at school than
I'll
home.
tell you exactly why those people do that. People who do that are so unhappy with themselves, because really happy, good people don't do that. They don't target somebody to make themselves feel better, because that's the reason why someone would do that. Let me talk about that person's situation, because it might make me feel better, and then I'll isolate them, so now I have friends, because we can connect on not maybe going through this situation, or maybe they are. You literally never know what's going on behind closed doors, but that has nothing to do with you, and I know exactly why people do it, and it's because they're not coming from an empathetic place. They're not being taught properly, and that's why we do what we do. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just got really upset.
Okay.
I will tell you why people do that, and it's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It is 100% insecurity, because people that are happy, they don't do that. Good people don't do that.
So
I'm so sorry.
yeah, it was really tough.
Absolutely.
As a kid, it
You
was
were being
like
targeted
really
and
tough. I
I'm
was
sure
in
it caused
second
trauma.
grade, and I basically was going through my days and stuff, and then at home it got so bad where I had to go stay with my grandmother, and she lived down the street, so I could still go to school. And my grandmother was a member of the PTA.
Oh.
So whenever she went to school, everyone was like, "Oh, we're so friends with Jessica. We're nice with Jessica," and all of that stuff. And then whenever it would be time for her to leave, they would be like treating me bad and making me feel bad about myself and all of that stuff. I told my grandmother what was going on. She believed me immediately because, like, why would I lie about something like that?
Right.
And I told the school, and they didn't believe me because every time they're around, they're so nice to me. They're like, "Why are you making this up? Everyone's nice to you," and all of that stuff. And the school didn't realize that they were actually bullying me till one day I was missing at school. And at the beginning of the school day, I was regularly like being my dorky, nerdy Marvel self. And
I love that.
I was by myself. I had a friend, like I had two friends, like Martin and Brianna. I remember them till this day. I like never saw them since I moved.
Shout out Martin and Brianna.
But they were my only two friends at school, and they would be with me, and then they had to leave to go to class. And on my way to class, a group of boys and girls were approaching me, and I was trying to get around them, and then they pushed me in this boys' bathroom.
Oh, no.
And this was a boys' bathroom that, you know, those old school doors that like
Yeah,
lock when they
yeah.
close. You can't pull on anything. I was stuck in the bathroom. There was urine, feces all over the floor. And it was just, I was stuck there the whole school day. And I don't know what's going on. And all I know is I'm stuck in the bathroom. Like, this was barely when phones were just distributing around people. And I never had a phone. So I couldn't do anything. Then at the end of the school day, the janitor opens the door and he's like, "You were here?" And my grandmother came up to the school because she got a phone call, you know, those automated phone calls. "Your student was not here." And she's like, "I know I dropped my child off."
Yeah.
And so apparently everyone at school was looking for me the whole day. And I was just like in the bathroom, and it was just hard.
I hate hearing that. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, it's the school.
I used to lock myself in the bathroom to eat lunch because people were so cruel to me. But that's I'm so sorry. That is absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
It is horrible.
And I got better and stuff.
Absolutely.
And the school was like, "Oh, now we believe you." Like, "Oh, we're so
It's
sorry."
sad that
we
it
didn't
took
believe
that.
you."
It's sad that it took that. And this is why we do this as well, because it's really important for educators to hear these types of stories, because it's not that they're bad people, ever. It's just that maybe I think they're just unaware. And that's why it's great to be able to share these stories so that people can become more aware and to really raise awareness. So it's so important that you're talking about all of this.
Yeah, and my only getaway was like, I'm a nerd. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big nerd at heart.
Nerds are awesome.
I like Marvel.
That is not nerdy. Marvel's awesome.
People think Marvel's nerdy.
Well,
and
people
then
can think
I'm
whatever
over
they
here
want, but
watching
you
Marvel.
gotta say, I think I'm awesome because I like Marvel. I'm not a nerd. You're a
Yeah.
nerd for not liking Marvel.
I was the Marvel kid in school with a Nintendo. So.
I love that. I love that. That makes you so cool. Like, what? To whose perspective is that nerdy? That's something people made up. That's not nerdy.
Yeah.
That's super cool. You're intelligent. You're an old soul. You're amazing. And you like awesome Marvel. Like, that is not nerdy.
And I'm also performing arts, like
That is
dance.
not nerdy.
No, that's not nerdy at all. That's not nerdy at all.
None of this is nerdy.
That's my future. It's
But
not
people,
nerdy at all.
theater kids get made fun of
Yeah.
a lot as well, especially the LGBTQI plus,
Yeah.
IA plus community. And it's like, what? Why are we
Yeah.
targeting hobbies
Yeah, it's
and passions?
because I'm a part of that community
crazy.
too. So it's just,
Wonderful.
I can't even touch on that one, but it's just I had dance and stuff and acting and singing as like my getaway. It was like my little getaway drug, my little escape from
Right.
reality. Like when I dance now at like talent shows or something, it's just like I feel like I'm leaving my body and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm performing.
I can't wait to see. I want to see all this. I
Um,
want to see all the 20 million talents that Jessica has. I do. That's awesome. I can't wait to let me know when you are performing next. I would love to see it.
I will. I think think I'm performing at graduation, so.
Amazing. Maybe I'll be able to come out here for graduation. That'd be fun.
But that would just be my little escape. And then my grandmother realized that the kids weren't going to be any nicer, and she got a better job offer as a teacher in Long Beach. And so we moved all the way from Montclair to Long Beach together, and it's just, I met more friends, I joined more clubs. I wasn't cheerleading at my old school where I was being bullied, but when I joined cheerleading at my new school, it was just like everyone was so like me, and I didn't feel like an outcast. I felt like I belonged. And then I started discovering my sexual identity, and I was like, oh, I like girls, but I also like guys. And I moved to middle school, and my mom, she's like, I think I like girls. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
I was like,
You understood.
I'm going to tell you right now, I like girls too.
Yeah, Mom, we're on the same page here, girl. I love that.
But yeah.
That probably made you come out and express yourself.
My grandmother was the first person who knew. She tells me all the time, I could tell from the age of 3 that you were going to like girls.
Grandma knows. Grandma knows.
But I love my grandma. She's one of my biggest supports in life.
I love that.
Without her, like...
Grandmas are the best.
Yeah, because, like, when I was being bullied, I tried committing suicide.
I'm very, very, very sorry to hear that, Jessica.
My grandmother was the one who, like, saw it happening in the process, and she stopped it. And it's like I owe my life to her. But it's her acts of kindness, and she, like, showed me real love and stuff. And oh my god, I'm hugging you.
I just think it's so cool of you to be so honest.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing to do.
I struggle from depression now.
That's okay.
It's an each day step. Back to when I was finding my sexual identity in 6th grade. People were like, "Oh, your mom's gay." And that's when I start living with my mom again. And then 6th grade, people, like, a year into the school, people are like, you have 2 moms picking you up. And I'm like, yeah. And I thought it was a normal thing. Like, I'm a kid. I don't know the difference. It's like, oh, yeah, they like each other. It's love. Like, I'm that kind of person. Love is love. And they're like, oh, so you have 2 moms. So I used to, like, get into fights about it. I used to, like, be defending my mom all the time. And then I made the mistake of telling one of my closest friends that I was bisexual. And
no, you didn't make the mistake. They made the mistake of whatever you're about to say.
Yeah. And they told the whole school. And
that was the mistake.
It was so hard because I wasn't even ready to tell anyone else. And
you did a brave thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mistake. You did something and you trusted somebody and they broke your promise. I'm really sorry. That's not cool.
I'm trying so hard not to cry right now.
I cry all the time.
Oh, God.
There's nothing wrong with crying. Crying is badass, baby.
But, yeah, the whole school were like, oh, it's a little dyke with a dyke baby and stuff. And I'm like, I just like wearing guy clothes, man. I like wearing girl clothes, too. You'll see me in a dress one day. Baby. And then, like, I'm wearing clothes, like...
Why do you care what I'm wearing? Go live your own life. It has nothing to do with you.
I'm like, I'm just trying to graduate, man.
And she did.
Yeah, I graduated early.
There you go, people.
Yeah, I had all my credits together, so I got to graduate in March.
Excuse me.
It was a hard process, and my grandmother, she tells me all the time, like, a lot of the stuff you went through as a kid, a lot of adults can't handle.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
I'm like, well, what does that mean? She's like, well, think about all the things you went through with bullying. I was also raped as a kid.
Jessica, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so, so, so sorry.
I've dealt with it because, like, it was family. It was 2 different family members.
Love her.
But it's like, you still have the memories play in your mind and stuff, and it just catches you. Like, it's hard for me to have, like, a sexual relationship with anyone. I'm, like, only a kid, so I'm not even trying to do that. But it's, like, hard to be sexually connected to somebody because, like, every time you try...
It's okay.
It's like every time you try to have a close connection with someone, it just repeats back in your head, you know? And you can feel like the suffocation that you have, the no control that you have. And it gets really hard. And I'm like trying to do better. And I'd be like, I'm okay. and all of that stuff. But it's like the minute I try to like have any like sexual, like it just like I can't breathe, and it's like hard, and it's like it's different, and it's just really tough for me because it's like, will I ever be like connected to someone like on that emotional level?
You will.
And it's
The
like
right person.
it's like when I lost my virginity, like I don't count my rape as losing my virginity.
No.
It's when I lost my virginity, it was like I was manipulated into it. And I was like, oh, he loves me and all of that stuff, but in reality he had a girlfriend and all of that stuff, and I didn't know, and it just felt like I was being used again, and it's like hard.
It was a trigger.
Yeah.
That's a very traumatic experience, and the fact that you're coming on here and talking about it is, like I said, once again, it's just, it surpasses anything I've ever done. That's amazing. If we don't talk about this, okay, we're never going to get past anything. People need to hear this. We're not censoring anything. This is what Buddha bullying, this is what B2B 1on1, and this is what Buddha bullying is about. We are coming on here and talking about today that so many people are suffering from. And you're going to inspire so many of them. You're going to inspire so many of them because you're taking back you're owning, you're taking back your respect, and I couldn't imagine I actually don't have the proper words because I didn't go through that, and it's not fair for me to sit here and even go on about it in any other way but to say that I'm so admired by you, and I really just believe that this is what needs to happen, that we need to be speaking our truth, and we need to be opening up, and we need to find communities that support us and lift us up and teach us that I'm getting my power back. I will never allow that scenario to define me ever. That scenario doesn't define you. That could have happened to anyone. It could have happened to me. It could have happened to Dimitri. It could have happened to anyone. And that is a sick, disgusting thing that happened to you. That is unjust, and it is not your fault. And it doesn't make you any different from anyone because it can happen to anyone. But what you are doing is you are coming out and being so brave and speaking about it to raise awareness and to help other people that are going through this. There are so many. I have heard a lot of these stories, and if we don't talk about it and get it out of our bodies and connect with people and lift each other up, then we'll just dwell on these things. So what you're doing right now is the most amazing thing anyone can ever do, is to come out and talk about something that is so vulnerable and private. And I'm so grateful to you because you didn't have to. You didn't have to speak about this, but you chose to sit down with me and really just dive in because you are so passionate about our cause and about suicide prevention, because so many people who have been raped, they feel worthless and used, and they do want to commit suicide. There are statistics. It's not your fault. It never will be. And I truly believe that everything you've gone through in your life, the unacceptable, the unjust, the indescribably horrific, has made you the indescribably amazing. Because being able to come out here and sit down with me today and talk about these things, that's hard. That's really hard. And you did it. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so incredibly proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story. I know that we don't deserve to necessarily hear it but thank you for sharing it, and know that you have a support system in Buddha bullying always.
Yeah, that's...
And just so many people that go through that go through that, you know what I mean? They hear you, they see you, and you see them.
That's the main reason why I joined Buddha bullying, because I know that I went through it as a kid
and have been the best addition.
Yeah, thank you. But it's I want kids to know that they have people like them and that they're not alone. And I went through it myself, Like, there's a long list of stuff
I will
that
never
went through.
understand. I will never understand how someone can do those things. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry. But it doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you more of a person to come out the other end, graduate school early, attack your dreams and goals with so much passion, and now have a purpose and be able to speak for a cause that you truly understand. I just, it's so, these conversations are always so hard for me because I personally have not been in that situation, but I am just so grateful for the bravery. I really am. I could sit here with you and talk all day. I'm so inspired by just your bravery. I know I harp on things, guys, but I just wish more people would, maybe not publicly if it's not comfortable, but would just share their stories. I really, really believe that speaking things out of your body, it saves lives. I really believe that. And, you know, I do understand anxiety and depression, and people who don't go through it don't get it. It's really, it can be like like a chemical imbalance sometimes, and you feel like you can't push through it, but I'm just here to say that there will always, 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 and I say this all the time, but I freaking promise you, always be a light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that you are walking proof of that. You know what I mean? You hit a really low place, and that's okay that you were really down and that you had this moment, but thank God you're here. And I think for someone who has been through a suicide attempt, I think it would be just so wonderful for you to explain how happy you are that it didn't go the way you originally wanted it to go.
Right now, I have the best friends that I would never change for the world.
Exactly.
And I never thought I had friends with them. Like, Natalie, she's a star basketball player getting a scholarship to, like, yeah, she's getting a basketball scholarship. Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's a star player. She's, like, really great, and she's going to be a psych major. And I'm really proud of her because, like, she's been through stuff similar than me, and she's gotten through it. And me and her were like this, and it's just like I wouldn't trade her.
There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Look at that.
And then I have my best friend Evelyn as well. I have 2 girl best friends.
Love that.
And I really don't like girls like that because I really don't like girls because like drama and stuff. And it's weird how much I can bond with them too. And like Evelyn, all of my family calls her our spirit animal.
Oh, I love that.
So she's like a little firecracker, but the nicest person you'll ever meet. She's like going to be a vet. And me and her are going to the same college and getting an apartment together. So I'm excited for that.
Congratulations. I think we can all agree that life is really who you surround yourself with and your mindset. And no matter how dark it may seem in the moment, or how like, no, that can't be it, that won't work, this is just, I can't go on, you can. No matter how dark it might seem in the moment, it really is all about who you surround yourself with and your mindset. At the end of the day, that's everything. And no matter how much in the moment when you're really dealing with horrific and traumatizing hardships, whatever it may be, you're walking proof, like I said, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that you can change your life around. I promise. And it might sound exhausting, but baby steps, tiptoe, breathe. It's okay. You have all the time you need to get there, but just promise me you'll get there. Because I promise you, it always gets better. Always. Always. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know. Yeah. It's just science. I promise you. It is my own science.
Yeah.
It does, because I've spoken to so many people who have, been in that place, and it's all about just getting the proper help and learning the proper tools and speaking to someone. Sometimes whether it's a friend or administration or someone at school or a therapist, there is nothing wrong. We all need each other. So who are you kidding if you think you could just get through this life on your own? People need people. We do. And if you can, kudos to you. But I can't. I need my friends. I need mostly just my mom, my best friend,
My
my dad,
friends are my
my
sanity.
family, my friends, even my social media family,
Yeah.
my Buddha bullying family. It's all a part of it. And we're all equal, and we've all been there, and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing when you feel that way. Like, a million people have felt that way. A million. Don't ever sit in the corner like, I'm the worst person in the world, and I don't deserve to be here, and I've gone through this, and that. I should just, end it. Just being raw and real. No, don't. There's so much waiting for you, and you are going to look back one day, like Jessica, and just realize how much it made you grow, how strong you are, how much of a presence you have in our organization. Now you're, part of an organization doing incredible things, speaking to kids, speaking to our youth. It's always worth it, and I just promise there's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's so important to me because I've been in I've had moments where I've just felt so down, and and you just got to remind yourself it's okay because we all go through things. We are human. So I always ask this question at the end of our interviews, and I would love to ask you, Jessica, if you can go back and tell a younger version of Jessica at any age one thing, what would you tell her?
I would tell the elementary Jessica to hold on because it's gonna get better. Like, there will be ups and downs, and there will be days where you don't think that you can get through it, but you will.
You will.
And you'll make it to graduation and all of that stuff. Like, I would have never thought I made it to 18. Like, I would have never thought I'd be alive to see 18. And here I am.
Here you are, thriving.
Yeah.
Thriving. Looking amazing, feeling amazing, doing amazing things. You did it.